So the Denver Broncos hammered the Saints in New Orleans 33-10. It didn't even feel that close. And this was Sean Payton, who years and years and years ago, 2006, Sean Payton took over a team that was so bad in New Orleans, they were called the Aints. Fans wore like garbage bags over their head. Like you saw it for years and years and years. And Sean Payton, first year, he didn't have all the dead cap money, but he squeezed every ounce of talent out of that team, got them to the playoffs, double-digit winning team. This is what the great coaches do, and Sean Payton's one of them. Now, the Denver Broncos are not a great roster. Vegas had them at 5.5 wins. I said I think they're 7 or 8 just because of Sean Payton's coaching. He will squeeze every bit of juice and pulp out of this orange. So when you go on the road like the Broncos did, on a short week with a rookie quarterback that didn't play well and win by 3 touchdowns, that's coaching. Dennis Allen may be the worst coach in the league. Sean Payton once again takes a dead franchise. Broncos were a dead franchise and has squeezed every ounce of talent out of them. And again, an offensive coach. We've been on this now for multiple years. This is why I would always prefer to get an offensive coach. I've seen Andy Reid do this twice. I've seen Sean McVay do this. And now I've seen Sean Payton do this. This offensive line, when he took it over, was a bit of a mess. Just after last year, they were 12th. I'm watching that Bronco O-line this year, guard, center, guard. It feels like a top 3 or 4 in the league, at least guard, center, guard. They are running the football. Last night was a great example. They come out with Bo Nix. Bo Nix' mechanics are all messed up. That was always a concern. He didn't have a big arm, very mobile, smart kid. His mechanics aren't great. He tends to run more than he should. He's very athletic, but his feet and his mechanics are a mess right now. Sean Payton very clearly early says, yeah, this ain't going to work. We're going to shorten the routes. We're going to run the football, and that's exactly what they did. And remember where Sean Payton learned all these tricks. Who was his mentor? Bill Parcells. Urban Meyer in college and Bill Parcells in the NFL are the great quick rebuilders. Urban did it at Bowling Green and Utah and Florida and Ohio State, like 1 year, awful to good. Bill Parcells did it multiple times in his career. Bill Parcells, he was the mentor for Sean Payton. So Sean is much better than most coaches when it comes to personnel and the draft. He's very good at it. A lot of coaches aren't. A lot of coaches aren't good at that. Like Andy Reid, I'm not going to do that. Andy could be good at it, doesn't want to do it. Play design, play creation, play calling, that's what he does. Spags, you do defense. Brett Veach, you do the drafting. Sean Payton can get his hands dirty a little bit in the personnel, and he's good at it. But, I mean, Bo Nix was not playing well, and nobody turns a mess around quicker. And I want to tell you how big of a mess Denver is. They still have $78 million in dead cap money this year. They will still be paying Russell Wilson $32 million next year. It's a disaster job. And yet, they're at 4 wins. Vegas had them at 5.5. I thought it was 7 or 8.
Okay, so let's talk about this. I think he's saying a lot of things that are true, and I think he's saying a few things that I think are fundamentally wrong a little bit. One, yeah, Sean Payton has been, showing a master class. This was in no way an easy job to take over for Sean Payton, moving on from Russell Wilson, dead cap money, all of that, right? I mean, I think any Denver Broncos fan can understand that and even admit that, which is why this was always, as soon as Bo Nix got here, it became like a 2-3 year plan, right? It wasn't like, okay, Bo Nix is here, Sean Payton got rid of Russ, this team's about to pop right now, right? Like, it was always going to be a plan. They always had to kind of get from under that devastating Russell Wilson contract. And we see that already. And what this highlights too is Sean Payton, because a lot of people are really low on Sean Payton for whatever weird reasons. Honestly, it doesn't really feel like it's football reasons, quite frankly. But what a great coach does is shows you how you can win in less than ideal situations, right? Lots of coaches can win when everything is rolling, when all your stars are healthy, when you got a great quarterback, great O-line, great running back, whatever it may be. It's when things are a mess, do you find ways to win? And first off, we saw that last year with Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos with Russell Wilson, found a way to win. You see Matt LaFleur, quarterback goes down, find ways to win, right? Kevin Stefanski even, right? Quarterback goes down, find ways to win. Andy Reid, that offense is a mess right now with injuries, finding ways to win. And now Sean Payton finding ways to win this season as well, right? Vegas did have it at 5.5, and I did a whole video about that. And now they're already going to pass that, right? Like it's not hard to imagine that they will get 7 or 8 or maybe even 9 plus wins. That defense has been looking really legit, although it's hard for any strong takeaways for defense for this game, quite frankly, right? The Saints backup 5th round quarterback, devastated by injuries on both sides of the ball, quite frankly. So I don't think there's a tremendous amount of strong takeaways from this game necessarily, except for they took care of business. They did what they were supposed to do. And anyone who wants to kind of call out Bo Nix, look at it like this. First off, I think Bo Nix played pretty well. He obviously had a couple bad throws, right? It was 3 by my number. But besides that, first off, he was flushed out of the pocket and was forced to scramble a ton. This idea that Bo Nix, was just kind of able to sit around the pocket all day and had protection all day. Like, no, he wasn't taking sacks because he was avoiding them himself. I mean, like, he was a top rusher in the game. So this idea that Bo Nix just had this nice little bubble around him and he got to just sit back and chill and have a cold drink is like, no. The dude was on the move the entire game. The entire game he was on the move. And when he had a clean pocket, there was nowhere for him to go. I mean, he would be sitting there and then he would be sitting there and he'd be looking around, going through his progressions, and there would be no one there. So I kind of disagree with this of just Bo Nix was a mess. It wasn't working, so they just ran the ball. And again, Bo Nix was a big part of that run. So I don't think that's really completely fair to Bo Nix. And again, I live streamed that. He had 3 really, really bad throws. The one that just went, in between 2 guys was a bad throw. That one almost interception was the worst throw for sure. I still don't know what he was looking at. And then the other one, he just kind of, skipped it in. It was a little short. But look at how we've seen, 1, other rookie quarterbacks do that this season. And 2, look at Spencer Rattler. I mean, look how that game completely collapsed for him, right? Look at it. I mean, it collapsed for him in back-to-back weeks. And he was the next quarterback picked. So you can see the composure of Bo Nix. You can see the understanding. Yes, a couple of his throws were off, without a doubt. But you can still see the growth, the progress, and the foundation of Bo Nix right now. Imagine when Bo Nix dropped back, if he actually had someone to throw the ball in the pocket, what he would do, right? And when you're on the move as much as he's been on, you're only going to be so deadly accurate. You're going to be accurate, but that's what makes Patrick Mahomes so special, is how accurate he can be off script on the move. So if you're expecting Bo Nix to be able to do that, drive after drive after drive after drive, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry, Bo Nix is not Patrick Mahomes. That's not going to be his specialty. That's not going to be his superpower. Will he be able to do it when the time comes? Absolutely. But we've seen Matthew Stafford be flushed out of the pocket, have to run around, and can make amazing throws, but also not so amazing throws. So I don't feel the need to really zero in on that on Bo Nix to such a high degree, because I fear that that's used as proof to be like, aha, I told you he's not that good. Like someone in the comments was already like, Spencer Rattler was actually the 3rd best rookie quarterback this season so far. And it was like, I guess it was implying, it's Caleb and Jaden, and then not Bo Nix, and then Spencer. And it's like, I don't think so. So I think the game, again, was a good game, a decent game. And I think if you're going to sum up how Bo Nix played, because I think there's more takeaways for a rookie quarterback against a bad team versus a team as a whole, right? Because I'm not a firm believer in drawing too many conclusions from a team perspective when you beat up on a less than team, which I'm very consistent on. But I think it's totally fair game to draw conclusions from a rookie quarterback. And he had some really, really nice plays. He was consistently good, had some great plays, and some bad plays, and those plays kind of evened out. But the fact that he was forced to use his legs so much, be constantly on the move, face a ton of pressure, keep rolling out as a rookie, in his, what, 7th game now? I mean, I think there was a lot. But Bo Nix was not like, he did not get to just chill. There was not easy plays. When you look at the Chicago Bears versus the Jags, Shane Waldron was setting up Caleb for some really nice, easy. Granted, they have the personnel, so this isn't anything against Sean Payton, but he was setting Caleb up to just really do pitch and catch and really have some great plays. And the Broncos never really had that this game. There were so many times where I'm like, okay, look, Bo Nix is about to sling it. And then there was just nowhere to go for him, right? Like, just nobody was open. So, and he had to constantly make something out of nothing. And quite frankly, that impressed me. I was genuinely impressed by that. But again, to be clear, I'm not trying to act like he had this amazing, awesome game and he balled out and put everyone on notice. I'm not saying that either. I just fear that other people will kind of go too far on the other side of the spectrum and act like he played like trash, which I really don't think he did. I think he played pretty good. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos beating up on the New Orleans Saints? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.